Is Usyk doing that? Is that the delay in that fight, that he's asking for too much or not enough, that you feel that, or you feel you should get the lion's share?
Don't get involved in all the business side anymore, because it used to give me a lot of stress and anxiety. So I'd rather not even get involved, because what I've learned from these boxing fights is they don't get made straight away like I want them to do. I'm the type of man who goes, right, let's have a deal, how much, yeah, bang, 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 done. But these guys, they like to drag it on for like months and months and months and years even. So I'm not into all that shit, and that's what I pay lawyers millions of dollars for, and promoters. So I'll let them do it.
So give us an insight on that. Why are they always dragged out? Like, because I was always told if a fighter really wants to fight, it gets made, boom, like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, it's usually about money, and both fighters have got to be willing.
We know you're more than willing
More than willing what?
to go into a fight with Usyk and anyone.
Listen, if the devil confronted me, I would fight him. So, yeah.
We're gonna see this Usyk fight with Tyson, right? Is it gonna? What's going on with that?
Well, the big man's here. You know, Tyson's ready to fight anybody in the world, but they've got to pay him what he's worth. And I don't think Usyk's worth a 50-50, because Usyk on his own without Tyson Fury can't sell the O2 out. Tyson brings a 94,000 crowd on the world's media, you know, and he deserves to be the A-side, and he deserves A-side money, not Usyk. And if he doesn't get Tret right, it probably will never be made.
So that's the issue, is the money.
It's the money, because it's not just the money, it's a principle thing. You know, Tyson's had to take the poor end of the money when he was challenging for the title, but now Tyson's a WBC champion, he's the best heavyweight in the world by a country mile. Dance to his tune or find somebody else.
So who would be someone else then?
Well, I don't know. So just pay Tyson what he's worth, Usyk fall in line, and we'll get it on.
Fingers crossed. I hope it happens, because we want an undisputed champion.
I hope so too. Of course we do, yes.
You know, there's a heated topic amongst me and our friends, and it's Ngannou, and if he could knock out Wilder. You face Wilder. In your opinion, a guy like Ngannou, can he knock out someone like a Wilder or anyone else?
Big enough to knock anybody out. But I just don't think he does, because I think Wilder knocks him out first.
Yeah. Like he'd have to do it in the first minute, right?
Yeah, but again, Wilder's the type of guy who's like a piece of shit kind of guy. So I'd like to see Ngannou chin him, knock him back out.
Yeah.
But I just don't think he would.
Is that all that animosity stemming from how he acted to you after the third fight and everything that came with the second fight?
No, I just don't think I give him a good enough beating in that third fight. That was a beating for the ages. I give him some rattling punches. But he obviously didn't take enough punishment. So, you know, don't rule out a fourth fight. Yeah.
Because a lot of fans would say you were so dominant in the fight, Tyson. Like, especially the second one, the third one, yeah, there was a knockdown. But if you look at the fights overall, you were very dominant in those fights.
Very dominant, yeah. But it's a competitive fight, so people are interested in knockouts. So the one thing I can say about Wilder is, where these other guys make an excuse about how much money they want, or I want this percentage, I want this, I want that, Wilder never did. He never ever complained about, I'm not going to fight because I want this, I want that. He just did it. So fair play to him for that one. He's still a pussy.
In terms of you, when are we going to see you back in the ring again?
Don't know.
No?
Don't know.
They said April?
Oh,
I read that, but
I don't know anything about it.
Nothing at all. No? I want to see so many fights with you, man. Like, Andy's a free agent now.
Yeah, but
do you see that?
He's got 45 days left on his contract.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if they'll be able to squeeze a fight in with Andy, though, in 45 days.
I don't think so.
Yeah, right? So that's one fight I'd like to see. I know Usyk is another fight we'd like to see, but, you know, in terms of you, what's the one that really, like, gets you going, like competitive juices?
Whichever one shows me the most money, because that's all I'm interested in, making money, getting paid, getting laid, getting out of there, driving Rolls Royces around and, you know, enjoying my family, taking my family to nice places, eating in nice restaurants. Is there anything more to do than it?
No. Well, you've achieved all that, though.
I've done all that. Yeah, I can do that now, so just keep earning money, I suppose, while you can. Make hay while the sun shines. That's what it's about, really.
Would the biggest fight be like one of those like weird like mismatch fights like an Ngannou?
Don't know, you know. like I keep saying in this interview, you never can tell what's around the corner. Yeah. But I just don't know. I just don't know what fights are out there, and there's a lot of fights out there to be made if they can be made. Because what I found out a lot in boxing is that in order to make these fights, the two parties have to be willing. And if one party's not willing, then the fight will never get made. No matter how much money there is or how much whatever there is on the end of it, then it'll never get made because you can't drag somebody to do something that they don't want to do. And I know that a lot of them want to save face as well. They want to be known as a top boxer, but they don't want to fight the top guys. So there's that to contend with as well. So it's pretty difficult, but you know, there's a lot of money out there, plenty to go around, and there's plenty of fights to do. So they can all fight each other, can't they?
Yeah, that's true. You know, Spence and Crawford didn't get made, and you mentioned just now kind of like how these fights don't get made. You know, like what's the reason?
It's getting made for years, hasn't it, as well?
Which one?
The Spence Crawford fight.
They've been talking about it, yeah, for years, and it hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened. They're both from America. It should be easy to do, but you know, you could say the same about me and Joshua. It's like we've been talking about doing a fight since 2017, and no matter what deal I offer them, nothing ever seems to happen. So you just got to let bygones be bygones and move on. All you can do is offer someone the chance, the opportunity to do something. If they don't take it, move on. But it's not something that you're in control of. Do you know what I mean? Like, I suppose whoever doesn't want it out of them two, Spence or Crawford, whatever reasons, I'm sure there's lots of them. And usually the biggest reason for not taking the fights is money, splits and shares and stuff. But yeah, they just got to move on and fight whoever's available, and that's it. If you look how long it took to make Mayweather-Pacquiao, how long was that in the making? Like the longest time ever.
7-8 years.
And then when they finally fought, I'd say Pacquiao was over the hill.
Yeah. It wasn't as good as a fight as it could have been.
Yeah, so yeah, but yeah. You can't take nothing away from Floyd Mayweather because he beat the guy who a lot of people are talking about as the greatest fighter in history, being Pacquiao, because he's an 8-time world champion, moving up from all those weights. But I say, how can this guy be the greatest fighter in history if he got beat by Mayweather? But then again, Muhammad Ali lost fights, and so did Sugar Ray Robinson. So everyone says you can't define losses, but in my opinion, I don't do losses. Neither does Floyd, neither does Rocky. So, you know, and neither does Joe Calzaghe. So you can't really judge us with them because we've never lost. We've never had to be I'm a 2-time champion without losing a fight. So that's quite special because you can't do it usually without taking a loss to become double champions and things. So it's difficult, very difficult.
Do you feel in a way it's hurting the sport that we're not getting these fights?
I don't feel like it's hurting the sport because just say Spence and Crawford don't fight each other doesn't mean Spence and Crawford can't fight everybody else in the division. It's the same with all weights. There's a lot of fights out there. There'll always be somebody else to fight, that's for sure.
At the end of the day, I know you mentioned Floyd as undefeated. Do you feel that you will end your career undefeated? Well, you'll end the career undefeated, and people will start saying, "Hey, possibly the greatest heavyweight of all time."
Yeah, you know, I'm in that conversation right now. Basically, all the achievements that I've had, I knocked Jack Dempsey off the number 2 spot in the longest reigning lineal champion. Yeah. The only one in front of me now is Joe Louis with 12-year reign, 11 years. That's a long reign.
It's a crazy year reign.
Yeah.
See, Floyd would have broken that, but Floyd retired for a year. And then, well, you're talking about heavyweights, but champions in general, Floyd had a long run, and then he retired for a year. He still says, no, I am, but he retired for a year.
Yeah. So, it's...
Man, that'd be something, right?
It'd be something, but I don't want to be boxing when I'm 42-year-old. No. You know, there's a lot of living to do out there. I'm just taking punches in the face. What do you take punches in the face for? At the beginning, because you want to be a champion and you want to have a career and be successful. But then it gets to a point where you're just fighting for money and more money and more money and more money. And it's like, what's the point? You're only making other people richer. Because at that point, the money doesn't really alter your lifestyle anyway. Yeah. So, and you know what they say? What do Biggie Smalls say about it? More money, more problems. 100% true.
Have you thought about like what happens after you're done? Like what you want to do and all that?
I want to keep myself busy. I'll always train. And I'll just do like bits and pieces, buying and selling. I like trading stuff, mate.
Like stocks?
Yeah, I like trading, yeah. So whatever I'm trading, whether it's stocks or settees, sofas, whatever, I just like buying and selling. So I always have done it, and that's what I'll probably do forever.
That's crazy because I can't imagine you having a normal job just because of who you are. But I would imagine you had a normal job before, or even maybe early on in your career.
Yeah. So I've always bought and sold cars. I bought my first car when I was like 10 years old and sold it for a profit the same day. Wow. So I've always bought and sold cars. So yeah, you have to keep yourself busy. A man has to have a purpose to get up in the morning. If you've got $1 billion in the bank, but you don't have a purpose to get up for, it's like, well, what do I do now? How long can you sit in the beach drinking pina coladas for and all-inclusive holidays until you bust? Man has to have a purpose. So without a purpose, it's hard to get up in the morning. So yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to be give myself a job, you know what, to get up in the morning for and go to work and come home. Learn the kids something as well. Learn them that money doesn't grow on trees and the value of the dollar bill.
You know, I wish I was taught all that because, you know, I grew up extremely poor and like I didn't have that type of education. So I think that's very important to be able to spread that to as many people as you can, because that knowledge is very valuable for people that come from very like hard financial backgrounds that don't know about that stuff.
Yeah. 100%. It's difficult because I grew up working my whole life. I didn't come from like a big multimillionaire's lifestyle. I came to boxing to change my life. Well, all the time, like from a little age, I was working, trying to earn money, you know. Like I said, 9 years old, bought my first car, 10 years old. I was working and I've always worked, so it's what I do, you know. So, very important to teach the next generation how to earn money, but two, how to keep it. Because we've seen many people in sports and things, so many rich people earn a lot of money quick and then lose it all. And I would say it's worse to have had a lot of money than have nothing than never have any money at all. Because the man who's never had anything never knows what he's missing. But the man who's had everything then lost it, he knows what it's like, the other side. And it's difficult to go back.
That's so true. Yeah. Because it's like an ego thing at that point to know like where you were and what you're back to. And it messes with you. It messes you so much mentally.
Yeah. As long as you stay grounded, though, and stay true. Even me today, I don't really think it matters if you drive a Bentley or you drive a Ford whatever. I think it's all about how the individual feels while doing it. If you're driving the shittest car in the world but you think it's the best car, then you're winning, aren't you? And I'm driving a Rolls Royce and I think it's shit. It's you're the winner. So you got to be appreciative. Two, in my opinion, you've got to have a relationship with God or a religion or something, a faith. And three, without routine, it's very, very difficult life. How do you motivate yourself if you don't have a routine? So these are all small steps that I follow on a daily basis to stay well and stay healthy and out of trouble.
I hope that continues for you, Tyson. A side note, I saw you take a picture of a Mercedes, I believe, SL500 convertible that you said still works. That was my dream car as a kid. And like I've been trying to find it because it's a like rare collectible item, but the thing is that thing does not break down, and that's because it has like a diesel engine, right? Yeah, and like I've always wanted that car, and I saw you post a picture like, hey, good old faithful.
That car's 27 years old. And it's still going good.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. All the best, buddy.
Tyson, I appreciate it, man. Good chatting.